All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we have Courtney Stone, who is the marketing director at Liberty Real Estate Fund, and we're going to get to hear a little bit more about her dreams, and her goals. So, Courtney, how you doing?
Great. How are you, Tim?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for asking. And Courtney, we like to jump right in. So, if you could start just by telling us a little bit about yourself and some of the stuff you like to do for fun, that'd be great.
Yeah. Like Tim said, I'm the marketing comm director at Liberty Real Estate Fund. So that takes up most of my time. Currently living in the city of Chicago. So that's also a fun time, minus all the mandates and such being put in place. But other than that, for fun, yeah, I hang out with my friends, like to peruse some of the hot spots in the city, especially at night. And then, yeah, like to run for fun, working out. It's another thing that keeps my head clear. Like to write too, because English major, gotta keep that pen to the paper. So try to make that time in my life as well.
Gotcha.
And then
So,
read, podcasting, all that jazz. Well, listening to podcasts. I'm not an actual podcaster.
yeah, I feel that. So, when's your book coming out?
Ooh, give me like 5 more years when I actually have more life experience. I feel like I'm not there yet, but gotta travel the world a little more first. That's my goal. And then maybe I'll actually have something important that people want to read. Because I could
Yeah,
write, but nothing of real like merit at this point, probably.
I feel that. I think you have some tips, but I also can wait a couple years for it. Awesome.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about your motivation. What gets you up, keeps you going with Liberty Real Estate Fund and your writing and everything.
Well, I started about a year and a half ago at Liberty, and the more that I learn about real estate, it's actually a really cool field. I never had any idea before anything about it. And especially with like triple net leases, which we specialize in, there's like a super niche, but really cool, lucrative market. And I think it's really cool to be even a part of those deals, like helping people make passive income. I think that's awesome. And I think they have like a good message to make people like financially free, which I think we all want to do. So that kind of motivates me job wise. And I obviously want to make money, want to live in the city. That also motivates me too towards the goals that I have for the future, like starting a family and such. So also having fun, being financially free so I can travel the world and visit any places that I want. That kind of keeps me going a lot. I want to travel to every continent, maybe Antarctica. That might be the only one that I'm not questioning or not sure about. But yeah, I
Yeah,
would say that.
yeah, for sure. I love that. And um, what if there was a one thing that you could tell the audience? This is an off-script question, so you don't have to answer. But if there was one thing that you could tell the audience about triple net lease real estate or just passive income or kind of your plans, what would it be?
Well, it's nothing but net income because the tenants pay the taxes, maintenance fees, and yeah, everything in between. All you got to do is really manage it. So that's why I think it's really cool for the real estate investor side. I'm trying to get my foot in the door with it. I just have to talk to Michael and Jason, like the CEO and the COO of my company, and actually know how to get started because I'm still kind of a baby at investing myself. I just know what we're investing in as a company. So that's my first step, is to actually start passively investing somewhere, if not actively, but more so passively probably. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. And while Courtney and Liberty Real Estate Fund do triple net lease, I'm focused on like the multifamily side of things and actually worked with Liberty for a little bit. And investing passively is a great way to like kind of learn the business, run the numbers, and then like getting more on the active side will actually like exponentially grow your generational wealth. So real estate is just awesome. You feel free to talk to Courtney about it. Feel free to talk to me about it. I love it. Awesome.
Pretty
Well,
great.
it is. It is. And now we're going to jump into your dreams, your goals, my favorite part of the podcast. So tell us a little bit about your vision for your life and financial freedom and traveling and all that.
So obviously I'm working now. I want to continue that, get my foot into passive investing, if not active investing. But I think it's more so I would be a passive investor, considering I like more of a hands-on marketing job perspective versus like the actual number crunching and finding properties and all that jazz. I'll leave that to the experts. But yeah, so that so I can honestly, yeah, save up money, be financially free, start a family. I want a lot of kids. I want a husband. I want the cookie cutter, quote unquote, lifestyle. So that's what I'm aiming for. I maybe want to move to Texas. That's my goal one day, but we'll see, because real estate out there is pretty great. So
It is. It
um,
is.
that's like my goal. And then yeah, in the next 10 years, I just want to travel everywhere. I want to see everything. I want to get immersed in different cultures, because I haven't experienced too much, because I've been in Illinois most of my life, went to college there, live there now, lived there when I was growing up, and I'm still pretty young. So this is the time to do it. They say do it while you're young, so that you can learn those life lessons early, and then yeah, just implement life skills to your future family and to coworkers, family, all that, friends. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. And then hopefully write a book one day. That's the real goal, but we don't know. Well,
I feel
hopefully.
I feel that. And what type of book would you write?
Probably fiction. I'm a fiction nut. I haven't read too much fiction lately, just because I'm busy reading real estate and investing, and just like self-help betterment books. Although self-betterment book might not be bad either. Everyone can use those now and again. But yeah, fiction book. Maybe like a fantasy, like Harry Potter-esque, but don't hold me to that. That's like a fun dream. Self-help book is probably more up my alley, but we'll see where I can get. Maybe that's the stepping stone to actually getting something published, and then I can let my creative flag fly.
Have you ever like written out some fiction stories that you had? They were just ideas and you just kind of tried it out and you just never told anybody about it?
Yeah, I have like a journal. I write a lot of poetry and stuff. Not as many short stories, but I've written a few short stories that I kind of like started the wheelhouse for it. But yeah, poetry is my main wheelhouse right now, because it's pretty short and to the point, and you feel something in the moment, so you jot it down and you're like, this could apply. And then you could honestly, if you have an idea, that's poetry is a lot of symbolism, and all of fantasy is like a lot of symbolism, because every monster or something stands for some kind of personality or whatnot. But they kind of go hand in hand. Writing goes hand in hand with everything.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love that. I love that a lot. And I think also on the kind of real estate side of things, if you're ever like looking to get into active investing, I think you can kind of pair your marketing skills with active investing when it comes to like raising private capital. So when you talk to Michael and Jason about that, that's something you should think about for sure.
Interesting. I will bring that up to them.
But yeah, I also think you should start your fiction book now, but we don't have to get on that.
Very rough drafts would happen. Very rough.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so what caused you to kind of take this first step towards self-improvement, financial freedom, and having these dreams and goals?
Honestly, COVID. So I was sent first time ever traveling to another country, let alone continent. I studied abroad in Australia, but their school semesters don't actually start until early March. So then I got there, was there for about 2 weeks, and they're like, "Oh, go home," and I'm like, "Okay." I don't really have a choice. So then my friend's dad, who's Michael Flight, he actually was like, "Hey, you're an English major. You know how to write. Do you want to write something for me since COVID and you're hardly taking any credit hours?" And I'm like, "Sure, throw me in the deep end." So started writing, started learning about real estate, all of that jazz. And now here I am today, still working for the same company, just with some promotions in there. And that's what really got my foot in the door. It kind of opened my eyes, like, hey, take opportunities as they come, see what it turns into, and like never turn down an experience, because it always ends up helping you. Even if it hurts you, sometimes the hurt is the best help. Failure leads to success. So
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. And so were there some times in the past, 2 years where you were kind of taking that journey of like taking steps, taking opportunities where you were scared? And if so, what did you do and how did you like push through it?
yeah. So I mean, I actually reached out to Adam too as like another opportunity, because I wasn't sure if I was fully invested in like Liberty too. Like I am, but I just didn't know if that was like what else I could do. So Adam knows everyone, Adam Carswell, of Dream Chasers. So I did that. I just like sent him a text. I'm like, hey, if you ever need any help, do this, because I was so inspired in 1 second listening to one of his podcasts, like Parker Woodward, like, or not one of his podcasts, one of his next level webinars. So I was like, in the moment, I'm just like, hey, I want to do more for this. So I did that. I was like, oh shoot, should I have done that? I have like a lot on my plate already. I kind of just took it in stride, and then he said, yeah, help out. And then I was like, okay, now I'm super stressed. So what can I do about it? So then I started to make like to-do lists. I started to make checklists. I started to actually organize myself because I'm not that organized of a person, but started to make like a calendar. And like those little steps of organization honestly saved my life with getting like jobs done on time, like getting my hand in other like projects and actually like expanding my role in both companies.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, just organizing honestly is really what kind of pushed me to do it. Like those little moments of inspiration, you kind of got to take advantage of, and then like roll with it. You just kind of like got to let the cookies crumble where they are. Like, but
Yeah.
if you feel something, do it in the moment because you might overthink it, which I usually overthink, but I'm like, no, don't do that this time. And it worked out. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. And I love especially how just a little organization can go such a long way and lead to, I don't know if you've ever read The Compound Effect.
don't think I have, but that's another book to add to my list.
Yeah, it's a good one. It talks about how like really small steps done consistently can have a profound impact on our lives, and just that small organization done consistently like led to you having a much bigger role in both of these companies and with both of these people, and you meet people, you learn about real estate on your path to financial freedom, which I think is just awesome. So kudos, Courtney, kudos.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, if there was one type of person that you could meet right now that would help you take the next step towards either passive investing, writing that book, or starting to travel, who would that person be and how would they do it?
Hmm. I would probably go with the passive investing side because I actually don't really yet know how to do that. I feel like that's the most achievable at the moment, especially like traveling. Can't really travel too much right now, the current political climate. But yeah, passive investing, and I probably really want to meet Hunter Thompson actually, just because I already know he's great at it. He's got Ace in Capital. I'm already connected with Adam really well. Yeah, probably like Hunter Thompson, um, even like Russell Brunson if I really want to like shoot a name up there because ClickFunnels, he just knows how to do anything about everything. And I feel like he could just connect you even more to every person. And just him in general is like such an inspiring part. Like he's a very well spoken person and motivates like hundreds, if not thousands of people to make the next step.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Hunter Thompson, Russell Brunson. Does Adam know that you want to meet Hunter?
No, he does not. So that could be saved for the show. There you go.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna know now, just so you know.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I'm gonna challenge you a little bit here, and if there's one person that you could meet, one type of person that you could meet that would help you take the next step towards writing your fiction book or self-improvement book, who would that person be and how would they do it?
Hmm. Honestly, I'm still going to lean towards the real estate side and say Grant Cardone because I read the 10x rule and I wrote an article for him actually, well, like through Adam because he had like an interview with him, so I like did an article write up. But he wrote his own book. He's in real estate, and all he had to do was like say like, yeah, sit down. All I have to do is literally have a conversation. He'd probably scare the life into me, even though his book already did that enough. I'm like, yeah, I got to take my ambitions way up higher. But him in general, just like I feel like could inspire anyone to do anything because he's just like such an aggressive, like but motivational person that he can kick anyone into high gear.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great person to get you to write your book. He'd be like, "Why haven't you started? What? Why isn't it done?"
I don't know. I don't know.
No, Grant Cardone, he's a funny guy, and the 10x Rule is a very great motivational book for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, what is the most important one or two things that everyday people can do to help you accomplish these goals of either, taking next steps in real estate or the book?
Like anyone in the world.
Yep, just like your neighbor, the person at the grocery store, people listening to this podcast.
Honestly, well, for one, they should always take any opportunity that falls in their lap. Because your opportunities lead to other people's opportunities. That's how people get connected is because they network, they take chances. Like you, Timmy, you meet everyone because you take those chances, you reach out to people, and that in turn gives other people more opportunities to spread their words around, if not your own, and make their own content, if not spread your own content around. So I feel like everyone just needs to take everything in stride, realize that opportunities are a blessing, even if they seem like a curse in the moment. Like every little person, thing that falls in your lap, just take advantage of it. And that could lead to everyone honestly being more ambitious, and then more connections are made, and more networking, and just everyone's living in this world then, and we're all helping each other out.
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel that. I love that. And it's a piece of advice you don't get often, but it really does work. Take the opportunities in front of you. Maybe you'll circle around to Courtney after she's a our New York Times best-selling author in 3 years.
Maybe 5, but we'll aim for 3. We'll aim for
Yep,
3.
exactly. And so yeah, take the opportunities that fall into your lap, and maybe you'll meet Courtney and hopefully me too one day. Awesome. Well, now we're gonna jump into our thriving 3, and this is where I ask you about the steps that you're taking in your life to just thrive and be who you are. And so, first question is, what's your favorite book, movie, or podcast? Pick one.
Okay, well, book is kind of hard because I read a lot of those, and it's like a really cheesy answer. So I'm gonna go with movie and say Good Will Hunting, even though that's a pretty basic answer too, because I feel like if people have seen it, they love it. Robin Williams, can't go wrong with him. Like R.I.P. But oh, he's amazing. It's funny, but it's also inspiring and like action. I don't know. It's got everything, and it's motivational too. It's motivational, inspiring, sad, but in a good way.
You know what's funny?
Mm.
Second time that movie has been recommended on this podcast, and I
Okay.
have not seen it.
Oh my gosh, well, that's your mission then soon. You have to watch it, Tim. It's
Yeah.
great.
No, absolutely. I'm definitely gonna. It's the second time. Like I have to now.
You really have to, yeah. No getting out of it now.
Awesome. Well, what's one way you like to take care of yourself?
So I try to work out at least 4 or 5 times a week, just to keep my body, mind healthy, because it's also a stress reliever to work out. And yeah, if you're moving your body, that's never like a bad thing. You gotta exercise. I love to run. That runner's high is very nice when you're having a stressful day, and then you can just release all of the negative energy in something physical. So that's one thing that I do.
That's awesome. I have never been able to get behind running.
Used to hate it. Now I love it. I don't know how. It really a flip just switched. I have no idea how.
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. Well, last question. What is one action step you can take right now or continue to take if you're already taking it to take the next step in your dreams of either real estate or writing that book? I really want to hear about the book, but you can also talk about real estate.
So I guess this is more of a book side. I'm trying to start my own website. I've been saying that I'm going to start it for like a year now. So again, I'm just sleeping on it like I shouldn't be. But maybe actually putting it out into the universe now, I have to start it. So I want to start my own website, publishing this stuff that I write for Liberty and for Adam's Pages. So it's also extra, it's another channel for them to get content on, but also then I can like have my own little blog piece of it too if I want, and kind of maybe release some of my more creative writings. And if that gets good reception, then maybe I'll be more motivated to actually start a book and actually learn things. And especially when I travel, it's like a travel blog too, then I'll have a section for that too. So I'm in the
Absolutely.
process of making a website to share content.
Gotcha. When can we expect to be able to go to the website and see your first piece of creative writing?
I would say
You're kind of committing to the entire world right now, so.
oh, thanks for that. That's no pressure at all. I would say January of 2022 would be a practical, not even that safe because that's still pretty fastly approaching for my schedule, but practical goal that I could get it up and running by then.
I feel that. And is that by the end of January or the beginning of January?
I'll be bold and say the beginning of January.
Awesome. This episode will probably be posted around January 12th. So when you listen to
Okay.
this episode, go to Courtney's website. I'm sure it'll be in the show notes.
Could or could not be. That might be my goal date then to post it by is January 12th. I'll try to have it up by January 12th then. We'll even it out.
Sounds good. I look forward to going and seeing your writing, and I'm sure the audience does too.
Thank
Well,
you.
Is there anything else you want to chat about before we sign off?
Not too many more updates in my life other than that. I mean, I actually just had another podcast interview with Aaron Eiler, but that's gonna be released in a few weeks. So it's
Oh,
my
how'd it go with
technically my
Aaron?
second. Hmm?
How'd it go with Aaron?
Very good. He interviewed me about my ground zero moment, which kind of was already talked about, which is kind of like the COVID kick in the butt that got me to get going and pursue my dreams and get financially free and all that jazz. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Aaron's great. His podcast is picking up some good feedback, I think, and he's only weekly still. He's not daily like you're being, but props to you. He also gave props to you too, because I told him you were starting a daily, and he's like, wow, that is wow. Only Tim could do that at this age, and I'm like, yeah, I know. But
Yeah. And it's the Ground Zero podcast, is that right?
yeah, it's Dream Chasers Ground Zero.
Dream Chasers Ground Zero. So everybody go check out Aaron's podcast too, and specifically Courtney's episode, and go ahead and share that and everything. Well, awesome. Courtney, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tim. I really enjoyed my time.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're listening to this and you loved what Courtney had to say, or you want to contact her to give her a kick in the butt to start her book, go ahead and do that. Make that connection. Take those opportunities as they come. And if you know Hunter Thompson, Adam, we're adding you right now. Introduce Courtney to Hunter Thompson. If you know Russell, if you know Grant, introduce Courtney to those people, and let's get the ball rolling on some of these opportunities and just scale our success together. Last thing we always ask you guys to do, send this episode to somebody who you know needs to hear it. Maybe they're also early 20s like Courtney and I, and they want to hear about like motivation and just action. Send this episode to them. And finally, go give us a 5-star review on iTunes and leave a nice comment too. Thank you guys so much. Courtney, thank you. And we're out.